70s mode, hot input. Just screwing around. Initial thoughts on the Bogner Helios compared to the Friedman small box and the Soldano Slow 30. Two reasons you cannot compare it to it is it has this incredible ability to control the volume. The small box and the Slow 30, both great amps. You hit 1.5 and you're at band volume, 1.9 almost to 2, and it's very loud band volume. I played outside at some big parks earlier this summer with the Soldano mic through my PA, and I don't think I ever got it over maybe 2.2. For the small box, it was even worse. It really needed a better taper on the volume. It does kind of sound like that. This one, the Helios 50 we're talking primarily about, it has two ways to control the volume that isn't discussed a lot. On the rear, there's basically a system volume, which is the volume of the return loop, which is similar feature on a Friedman, has a system volume, or the Soldano 100, the newer ones, has a level, which is a system volume, allowing you to push the preamp and the power amp tubes a little bit more. If that thing was dimed, or this one was, it's super loud. And at lunch when I came home, I wasn't so sure that this was going to be loud enough, because a lot of people talked about wanting more headroom. And so for the settings on the Bogner Helios, everything's pretty much at noon, except on the 70s mode, hot input, the gain's dimed, but the volume's almost 3/4 of the way up, which is pretty amazing that it can go that loud. But on the back, the system volume's about at noon, so it's taming it that way. And here's what it sounds like. the loop is very noisy, so I've got a decimator G string, which you could hear it was cutting some of my notes off a little bit, but that's just my rhythm settings on this multi-effects processor. On my lead settings, I've got a lot longer delays, trails, not a lot longer, but some longer. The other thing I found, I like the Maxon TS type pedal into the front more than my Boss Super Overdrive, which I was using with the Soldano. Just comparing those two, because everybody's going to ask me, a lot more note clarity, but also top end in the Soldano. The Helios is a lot more like a modded Marshall. Not that I've ever owned one, but that's what everyone says, and it does just sound more like a Marshall. Definitely more mids, closer to a Friedman, but not as compressed and dark as a Friedman, so to me I like that way better. Definitely I agree with what Alex was saying. Alex King was saying that this kind of bridges the gap of a really bright, harsh Marshall plexi and the super gained out. Like for me, I'm just so tired of tons of gain. You need, for this kind of tone, anything from